Hello everybody, and I hope you guys are having an amazing day. Today I'm here with part 5 out of 6 of the Galacticraft mod showcase series. This is the oxygen tutorial. So, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go into that building behind me and show you guys basically a just quick catch-all thing that I made really quickly, and then I'm going to come out here and show you guys some more specialized oxygen systems. So, let's go. So, in here, this looks like a massive mess, but this is a good example of something that you might need to build in your space bases. So, this is a greenhouse-looking room. I tried to build it okay, but that's not the point. The point is that this has 3 oxygen collectors, and so it basically works by so all oxygen systems work by having oxygen collectors of some kind, leaves or crops, and then having the oxygen that it intakes being piped into either sealers, compressors, or storage modules. And so what I have here is just enough sealers to seal up this massive room, because the larger your room is, the more oxygen sealers you're going to need, or the more oxygen you're going to need, and the longer amount of time it's going to take. And then there is the compressor and decompressor, which will fill and empty your oxygen tanks respectively. And then these, which store excess oxygen. So this is just a sort of basic thing. One other thing is that if you do want to seal a room, you are going to need one of these, an airlock, in order for it to be sealed. A regular door does not seem to do the trick. And so what you need, if you remember the machine showcase, which the little eye in the corner will be showing you right now, these basically put them in a portal formation, as you can see like that. And then you're going to just replace one of the blocks with the controller and just set however you want it. Either to open on a redstone signal, specific player, or you can invert the selection and have a horizontal mode, which means it will not be vertical, but it will open horizontally. So guys, now that I covered that, let's go and I'm going to show you guys all the very specialized things that are complete, because the one in there uses infinite batteries on all the things. The one out here, is going to be a very simple version that you could probably look at and put into your worlds if you need it. Okay, so the first thing that I have for you guys is going to be a very basic room sealing system. So first you're going to need is some kind of power source. I'm just going to be using the advanced solar panels, because those collect a lot of energy in a very short amount of time. Whoa, okay. And then we're going to have an oxygen collector and the oxygen sealer. Well, now I do recommend that you put them in some sort of fashion where maybe something like this, but you don't need to. You just need to be able to supply all of them with both electrical power, like that, and with oxygen. Like this. So, with that generating power in both of these, wait, hold on. Boom. I just put the wrong thing down. There we go. So now, with the collector getting power and the sealer getting power, then you can just put some leaves around it. Now I do recommend putting more than this, but as you can see, it is receiving oxygen. Now it's going to say not enough oxygen because it isn't getting enough, so I do recommend putting a large amount of leaves around these, or doing something like that. Have a greenhouse that is used to collect oxygen. But it's also going to say that the area is too big, and that's because we're out in the planet, and it won't work unless it's in a small confined area like that or that. Okay, so now I'm going to show you guys a quick oxygen compressor and decompressor system. So the compressor will be over there, the decompressor right there, and the collector will be there. So what you're going to need is just you're going to need to supply power to everything like that, and then the collector, now the collector is optional, you don't need it necessarily. However, if you do use this, I do recommend having it if you're trying to load and unload simultaneously. Another thing I recommend is having some sort of like oxygen storage module for this, either in it or out of it, and make sure that's facing the right direction, because because this is a compressor and that's outputting it, so you would want it so that way that'll input it there and then output it back. So then you could put some of that right there, just some leaves, and now you're going to want to put this in the area near the compressor, and once it begins taking oxygen, it'll begin filling that up. And then good thing is that then once the compressor is full of oxygen, then once the compressor is full of oxygen, then the storage module can begin to fill up, and then the decompressor can begin emptying it out, because this will just take out the oxygen, so it'll come out and in. So yeah, now as I said, this is optional, so you don't need it. If I was to put an oxygen tank, I'm just going to use this because it'll give basically infinite oxygen. It'll try to decompress it, and you can see there's a lot of oxygen, and the things are blue. And the oxygen is going to the compressor, because it's taking it in. And yeah, that's how that, so now guys, on to the last thing, which will be the bubble distributor. So the oxygen bubble distributor is probably one of the coolest looking things to see in action. I'm just gonna be, I'm just gonna flat out say it. So, oh, that's the wrong thing. I put the wire. So to see it in action is really interesting looking, especially it's just really, really cool. So the bubble distributor just requires an oxygen supply and a power source, which it is getting. And so with this oxygen supply, now it does require a large amount of oxygen, so it may not work, but as you can see, it's getting a little bit of oxygen, and it's constantly losing it, and that's because it's trying to create a large bubble. And it does require a very, very large amount of oxygen in order to work. So let's see if I can increase the oxygen being given to it. Okay, let's continue putting these on. And eventually you should see a little white bubble looking thing begin to form on top of it. Okay, so because this is taking a while, and it does require a very large amount of oxygen, something that I don't have in this area right here, I'm just going to throw an oxygen supply in there. As you can see, a little bubble begins to grow out from it. So the little bubble is a bubble of oxygen that you'll be able to breathe in, and it will grow to be a radius of around 9 blocks away from the bubble distributor. And that's about it. And guys, well, that's just going to do it for this video. I hope you guys found this very informative, and it'll help you on your journey to the stars in Minecraft. Also hope that you maybe will subscribe and leave a like. You don't have to, but it's greatly appreciated if you do it. And I am going to be trying to put out multiple videos before the new year. At least one additional one to this one, maybe two. And we're very close to 100 subscribers, and I really want to get a 100 subscriber special type thing going. So if you could subscribe, that would be greatly appreciated. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!